What's going on, Grind Gang? Uh, I go by the name Lieutenant Guard Capo. Today we come with a tribute with some sad news of the passing of the legend and icon DMX, Earl Simmons, who pretty much raised a lot of us via to painting of his imperfection in his music. Today I sit here with the lovely Miss Lady Anna and of course KB. Um, and today we're pretty much going to talk about um, what he meant to us and how he impacted us in our childhood and our younger years. Please, man, leave your comments and let us know what's going on. KB, what's up?
Hello, hello. How you guys doing?
Taking one for X.
Yes. Raise your glass for X.
So, all right. So I'm gonna start with you. Growing up, how did he impact you?
Well, I met DMX. I was blessed to be able to actually see him physically, not at a concert or anything like that, but literally in front of my building in Harlem. Growing up in Harlem, there was a famous like bar kind of place named PJ's. I don't know if it's. Do you know if PJ's still standing?
I don't.
Yeah,
The
well,
last
PJ's.
thing I heard of PJ, somebody got shot there, and that was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, well, PJ's was a spot where a lot of celebrities, such as Diddy, Eve, DMX, a lot of celebrities will come through and just enjoy themselves. And I happen to live above PJ's, and I had a DMX poster. He was there with Eve and the rest of the Rough Riders, and I ran downstairs with my poster, not thinking that he would actually sign my poster, just having it, hoping that he would. And he literally started signing everybody's stuff, and from there, I started growing up, listening to his music more and more, and through the tough times that I was having as a child in my childhood, I could relate to X. You know what I mean? It was more so like he was like a big brother more than a celebrity to me, because most of the things that he was talking about, I could totally relate to. So it's really sad, but it's life. It's a part of life that he's gone. We're all going to experience that one day, but I just think that X was taken too soon from us. I feel kind of selfish.
Absolutely.
Right.
How about you?
And when I would come back home to New York, my cousin rolled with Eve and down on 125th Street. So it was surreal. Like you didn't think that celebrities would be that close to personal. And he made it to where as our generation, celebrities now is you gotta pay all this money to see these people who has made it. I love DMX, so when I found out he passed, I was at work. I damn near fell out. I couldn't believe it because this was somebody that everybody, and I'm not just talking about the United States, I'm talking about worldwide. Everybody could relate to him. Everybody loved him. If you didn't even know English, you knew DMX songs. So he had that impact because regardless of his status, he was who he was. You could call him a crackhead, whatever the fuck you want. DMX will always be that nigga. He'll always be the truth. He never hid from his truth. And he tried, but everywhere he went, he said prayers. That was a praying man. He had demons that he was fighting, but he was still trying to give satisfaction to everybody, even though he was still yearning for that satisfaction himself.
Right.
Mhm.
So why with child abuse and anybody else, and he was striving to love himself. And that's the sad part because he'll die striving to love. So, and he was taking too soon. He still had more to give, even though he gave all he could every day. but he still had more to show the world, to make him like, well, not even to make him change, but to have the perception of him change. He had demons. He was young. As young people, as young black people, and I'm speaking on black people, as young black people, it take you a long time to grow up and be mature. And men take
Yeah.
longer time than women. So it took him a long time to come into his own routine, to understand what he needed to do to better himself. And he did that because ain't no crackhead that me. I don't give a damn what you say. He wasn't on no shit. It's just that the drugs took a toll on his body. You know what I'm saying? And I hate for people to always give a guy out of an overdose. No, the fuck he didn't. I take offense to that.
Yeah.
I take offense
Yeah, but
I,
I want to interject because I honestly I got into an argument yesterday because of that. Because I felt like him using drug in the past and him being where he is in the place that he was when we last saw him, which was in a better state physically, a better state mentally, um in the easiest scapegoat for people to say, oh, he died because of an overdose. No, people could actually change. Like, we all have our vices. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking alcohol is a vice. When you decide to change your lifestyle, it's sad because he actually put that out there and he let it be known that, look, he had some shit he was struggling with, but he's human too, and not to just judge him and make him look like the villain. Like, some of the greatest artists that we've had in our lifetime struggled with real shit that we could really say we could relate to. Whitney, for an example, Barbie, they were just real enough to put it out there. It's so many other artists who are struggling with drugs and they will not say it because they're afraid of the people's judgment. And I feel like we should stop being so judgmental when it comes to people, because we are human and flawed, and we shouldn't have to sit here and throw stones at people when we ain't living right in our own lives.
I think that's a emotional cover up for a lot of people, which is judgment towards somebody else. But as far as DMX and uh, what he meant to me, I personalized, and visualized his words as I came up because the relationship that I had with my grandmother, which he had the same with his, the relationship I had with my mom, which he had with his,
Mhm.
the group homes, and only looked upon as the nobodies, the low lives, you know, the people that's not cared for, and for him to go out and be that person and get love from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Not just where he's from or his homeboys. It gave us a light of inspiration. It came the way he spoke the words on those albums or those yo, he going through it with me. You know what I'm saying? And this is a person that, I see now that, I mean, the amount of love that he had is like very, very impactful. Um, so definitely, rough ride and power to him. And his
But
legacy is definitely gonna be a long, major ordeal, man. There's a lot of people that's hurt behind it.
with a lot of these artists, it just and we've lost, unfortunately we have lost a lot of people in the industry that we have heard or looked up to on the TV screen throughout our childhoods. But that just brings me closer and better understanding of giving the flowers while you're alive, like not waiting to play the music or support the artist when they die. Everybody's playing the music, everybody's running
But there's
around
there's
throwing their.
only a certain amount of people that like right now in this day and age. I'm saying it's a lot of everything sounds good. I'm saying whatever sounds good for the time. There are very few people that actually, before this time or his time in need or before he went to the hospital or passed away, there's very people that had DMX in their playlist. Now, the
Right.
moment he went to the hospital,
Hmm.
everybody he becomes famous. He says, I say, and I think that's a big problem within our culture alone, with not just celebrities, but also people that we know on a personal basis. And that's a big problem for us. Like again, if you know me, like my DMX story is very similar to the rest of the people that's in the hood. But like with me, I love that man like deeply, like just like I knew him 101. You know, so it sounds good. And I think you're right for us to start giving not only our celebrities but everybody their flowers while they're here.
I
You
think
know,
it's more so
Right.
people take it for granted. Oh, they're not gonna go no time soon. The only thing you're guaranteed is death. You know what
Asha.
I'm saying? You're not guaranteed tomorrow. That's luck. But you know for certain you are going to die. You just don't know when, you don't know where, you don't know how. That's it. But
Right.
people take for granted, mainly the ones you adore or look up to, admire, or you want to be like. You take for granted instead of, you know, even if you don't talk to them every day, send something out, support them somehow, show that love so they know, even though they might feel it or understand it, but they see that, okay, that person loves me, but they love me because they're always there. It's not because I'm in need, it's not because I'm doing good or I'm doing bad, it's there. So people take for granted a lot of things, and that's the problem with society. It's the selfishness of society, basically. And it's sad because when they do pass, now it's the homage, now it's the memorials, now it's the merchandising, now it's the reselling, now it's all this, but it should have been done because when they came out, you had that same aspiration. You had that same
Right.
push. Oh yeah, let me get this CD, let me get this song, let me
Right.
get this shirt, let me get this hat. You were doing it when they first came out. Why can't it be a consistent basis? And
Right.
then when they die, it's no guarantee that the family's gonna profit from it
Right.
because
Exactly.
it's displayed and all kinds of shit. So you want to pay homage while they're still here because that benefits not only them but the people that they're taking care of.
Yeah. And I feel like
It's just
most I feel like most celebrities should reach out to their fan base a little bit more because we are impacted we are impacted when they do leave or when they do get sick, and I feel like we personalize stuff that happens to them because we feel we have a certain connection with them. We feel it's almost as if we know them, you know. And with family and friends too, I believe that even though it might be hard because I had to work on being able to be the bigger person and just reaching out even if I'm upset with the person or if but I think that life is super short and we don't know. Everybody always hope there's a tomorrow and we always put things off and say, oh well, I'll catch up with the person, whatever, and in between that time something might happen and then you'll regret it for the rest of your time that you hear that you wasn't able to make things right with that person. And I'm pretty sure we all have gone through some type of scenario like that. So I just feel like first it was Kobe and the world stopped. Now it's DMX, the least person that I did not expect X to leave. I honestly didn't. So this should just show you how real life is and how serious we should take it you know, when people are here, we should just love on them now.
I think we should normalize again this thing with everybody and not just with celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I notice this all the time. If something happens to a celebrity, literally you can go on Instagram and just read every post on how deeply in prayer these people are about this celebrity. But they may have somebody that's close to them that's directly in the hospital at that moment, or a person that's close to them that's actually going through something, and they don't necessarily reach out to them. I think with celebrities, I also feel like just like we should give them their roses, we should hold them accountable for a lot of the things that they do, and not just the cancel culture and the take from them. But they need to understand that this works both ways. There's a reason why I listen to your music, right? So my reasoning maybe at the time I might want to party. or that song has a direct connection to me and being relatable to what I'm going through at the moment, right? But also we have to hold them accountable for letting them know, like, hey, we made we made you just like you make us, kind of thing. And these celebrities get so caught up, and that's why I think why DMX is so loved. He's one of those people that when you see him, he's not walking behind a bunch of bodyguards like this trying to squeeze through a crowd so nobody can touch him. You can literally probably walk in a corner store in the Bronx and run into him buying a soda, and you like, nah,
Is I'm bugging?
yeah, is that DMX? And he regular, you
Right.
know.
He might yell at you and scare you off guard, but
He kind of he showed us he was one of the very few actual celebrities, the people that we bought their CDs, we seen them on TV constantly, we seen the fame and the portion, but he also made it his business to come and touch the people.
And he made it his business to let us know, like, he's flawed.
Yeah,
Regardless of all the money he has, all the fame, he always allowed us to know, like, yes, like,
yeah,
I'm DMX, but I'm also a human. And I also, like, I was watching one of his interviews on 105, The Breakfast Club, and he was like praying, and he was basically saying, like, the more bad times you have, the stronger you get. And he was like, look for all the good and all of the bad times, because it's something good coming out of that. And at the time, you probably didn't take heed to it because we already have this perception of him, like, oh, that's just X talking. But when you sit back and really think of the things he was saying, it was almost like he was sending us a message, like, the bad times are gonna come, but the more, and he said, the longer and the bigger the bad times are, the stronger you come out of it when you come out. And I feel like when he did come out of it, he came out way better. And so during this time, whatever was going on with him health wise and personally, I feel like he definitely is proud of everything he's accomplished in life and where he was at when he did leave this, leave this earth. And I'm proud of him,
I
honestly.
feel like he was at peace because if you watch a lot of his interviews from back in the day, which I have been doing over the
Mhm.
past few days, um, you can tell the growth and how much of that pain has eased over the year, whatever it took or whatever you did, whether you did therapy, if you just got right with God all the way, or whatever the case is, however you done it, you can tell the difference. I mean, when he first came into the industry, um, he was he was also painted as this monster, but he kind of, acted like this monster.
Yeah, but he
He
was
kind
a
of was
monster
always
that
angry,
people
did
could
what,
relate to.
right, you know what I'm saying, but
he was a lovable
the
monster.
the
Right.
growth that within himself he definitely showed gradually over the years, and I think the growth that he had, I think he kind of instilled it in us because we grew with him.
Right.
Some things like he was so transparent with the world to the point where it was like, all right, cool. Um, if you said DMX did crack, it's not gonna surprise you. Okay, but his album is definitely out, so we need to stream that or whatever. Nobody
Right.
cared, you know, after a
No,
while.
but he was think like
Oh, but now it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, so what? We know that. Next, like, yeah,
right,
nobody's having this tour at the Barclays. Yeah, we in there or not? What's going on?
right,
Nobody, because
right.
that part of him, he showed his cards. There's nothing more after you show your cards that people can say or do. And a thing that makes me angry now is that narrative that we allow the media to paint. When these people get up here and say DMX died from an overdose, we control the media and stuff like that by watching, retweeting, having Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, or whatever the case is. And I'm saying, if we were to stop, I'm saying, these people as a whole culture, like, we're not going to allow you to disrespect us. I'm saying, one of our icons or anybody that's in our culture, I'm saying, they will stop it. You understand? Now, if it's fact, it's fact. But being that it's so easy to say, oh, he died from an overdose because that's what he's known for over the years of, being on drugs and stuff like that, it's not fair to him, his legacy, his family, his children, us, his fans, the culture, the streets,
Well,
nobody.
if I could say this, I could say, how many of us know a crackhead personally?
A lot of us. You
So
got
at
one in
the
your
end of the
family.
day, in my book, he good. He good in
He
my
grew up
book.
with him.
It doesn't stop a person from
Right,
loving or being there for them.
right,
Like
right.
it is what it is. That's just their demon. That's
That's
something they're
just
struggling with.
that's just
Either
what
you
you do.
support and help them, or you stay the fuck away
Yeah.
because
Right,
you're not helping them,
right.
causing more problems.
But to the media, to the
They
other
benefit
people,
off of it. They
to the
benefit off of the
people,
scales
to
and
the
that
people
gossip.
who are not in the community dealing with people who do crack, who do sell like bikes and shit, because this is a stereotype. Like you think of a crackhead, you think of a crackhead stealing some shit. You have some crackheads who won't steal, but will find some shit, who are very talented, fix it up and resell it to you. And then you, that's your neighborhood crackhead. He's a good man. He just doing crack. That's his shit. Now and so DMX, but the people who don't see it like right here, they will all automatically make it seem as this is if this big bad drug and he's a huge horrible person. But when you're not in the neighborhoods dealing with those specific type of people, and we could differentiate which one is the bad one, which one is the the cool one, which one is the respectful one, the one who will walk your ass home from the store with your groceries, and you give him $2 or $3, but you needed that help. He wouldn't steal that pocketbook from you. So at the end of the day, the people who don't know other people who are battling with that disease shouldn't make it seem or villainize them. And I feel like the media villainized X for a long time, and I respect him for saying it, because that didn't stop me from wanting to listen to his fucking music because he did crack. How about all the people who sniff cocaine and smoke weed? How about all the people who drink liquor and deal with little boys and girls?
Right.
They the worst to me. Whatever you decide to do to your body is your choice. As long as you're not harming anybody else, I don't think that should be something that should affect how people look at you, how people love on you. We all have our vices. And if we allowed what we choose to put inside our body to control how we love each other, we'll be a fucked up human race.
I agree with Jose. Jose says, I hate the fact that people show you love when you die. I feel like some people dismissed his rap career and labeled him as a crackhead, like that was the only thing he ever did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They immortalized him being a crackhead more than his accomplishments in the hip hop industry. And not only the hip hop industry, he was an actor. He wanted to produce shit. He wanted to do more, but he was fighting demons. Even though he had them demons, he still was trying to progress himself.
Absolutely.
He still was trying to better himself, and not even just that. He was trying to say prayers so that God would cover everybody, not just him. He wanted everybody to be covered. He wanted everybody to progress. He wanted everybody to be blessed. He didn't want just that for himself. And the problem is they made him a crackhead or he stole, but he said that. He did whatever he could to take care of himself.
He said it, Whitney said it. I respect them. At the end of the day,
I love him for that. Because a lot of celebrities hide this shit. And then when they get in jail, all this come out. Or when they die, the toxicology reports come out. Oh, well, they had this, and this, and this, and this.
Right. And it's a shock to everybody.
DMX said from day one, I'm a crackhead. It is what it is.
It's my business.
I ain't no pork nigga. I ain't no bitch. I ain't gonna play them games with you.
Right.
You know, and I'm not gonna hurt myself out there, but still respect me for who the fuck I am.
I'm a man, and that's why I respect him now. Wasn't it put out there that Richard Pryor did some sort of drug? Was it cocaine?
Yeah, all of them did that back then.
At the end of the day, are we going to take it? Will their talent or their gift be less because they did drugs?
No.
Some
of them say the drugs help them.
Exactly.
Get their career to be where
I'm listening to Party Up, and I'm guessing he was under some kind of influence when he was in the studio making that shit. And you know what? It makes me want to dance.
He said he did an interview on that song. He said he wasn't even trying to do that song, but Herb gave it to him. Was it Herb or Swiss? One of them gave him the beat, and he thought he was done with the album. They gave him that, and he was just like, he just threw some shit together.
Right.
But you know what?
And then he did the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer rap. He was talented. It don't take from your talent.
The fact that it's a double-edged sword now in the game, because we live in a culture now where all of the artists are dope fiends. And whoever's gonna take that personal, take it personal.
It's the truth.
But we went from an era of the hustlers, the grinders, the gritty, to the selling the dope, to flat out being dope fiends. I mean,
Right.
on perks and mollies and lean, and I'm like, well, god damn, like since when do heroin addicts get famous?
Wait, but you have to think about it. Why does so many of our artists in the industry run to drugs? Is it the artist or is it the fucking industry? Now,
It's to be both.
It's been like the industry. You have to understand. When you're in the industry, there's two things to that. First, the grind and the hustle. We see the end results. We see the fun concerts and shit like that. We see the nice music videos that we play on YouTube and the Pandoras and Apple Music and shit like that. We don't see the 178 days in the studio with no sleep. You know what I'm saying? The flights straight from the studio to have to go work with another artist or whatever the case is, and being away from their family and their loved ones and shit like that. The sacrifices that they do in order. That's one. And then for two, me personally, and I hope Facebook and YouTube take this video. Me personally, I always felt like there's some shit going on in that industry with something right. I mean, there's too much going on in that culture that to where I'm realizing when people start to speak out, shit start happening to them. It's either it disappears
Right.
because of urban hitting music no more, you can't find no shit like that, or miraculously they died in a plane crash or some shit like that. And I'm not one for conspiracy theories and shit like that, but
right. But it's just
it's
a
right
feeling.
here in our face.
Right.
Something's not right. It's just how a person goes from
Right.
going on Instagram live about the music industry and how wicked it is, and then 3 days later, the nigga plane drop out the sky.
But
And that's
wait,
happening to every person that speaks out of this.
DMX did a song or a poem on the industry. Did anybody ever hear the song "The Industry"? Where he was talking about how the industry is, how the
I
industry.
might have.
You have to listen to him because, and this was early on when he was younger. He was describing how things were in this business, and this. So many of our African American kids and our brown kids and us in the communities where we are not fortunate to have certain things want to be in this industry, and we have so many artists and actresses and actors explaining how bad things are. I feel almost as
But you got to think about it. This is the thing.
Let me just say this. I almost feel bad for them because when they join into this world of with the expectations of them to be so great, with the expectations of them to be perfect, with the expectations for them not to be human, I almost pity them. And we want to be in their shoes. We want the fame, we want the fortune, but then is it really worth it?
But I mean, you got to think about it. If I'm a 12, 13-year-old kid and I'm in impoverished situation and growing up in the projects, I don't have nothing. My mother's on drugs. My father's not there. I constantly walk up my building, and the only thing I see is poverty. I don't know where my next meal is coming from. There's nothing in my neighborhood but street gangs, a bunch of bozos, and all the rest of that. And then I look on TV, and I see a dude that's the same color as me, driving a nice car, a chain, stacks of money to his ear, and flying private jets and big ass mansions and shit like that. At this point, I'm not thinking about what's coming. That's how hustlers and shit like that end up in the feds for 50, 80 years and shit like that, because they may later on understand, okay, this might come with it. But at this time, how do you stop? You know what I'm saying? When you get in it, when you get into those type of situations, you're not thinking about what's going to come behind it. You're thinking about your next meal, getting money, getting all the pretty girls, fly ass cars, jewelries and shit like that. You're not thinking, when the police catch me, I'm going to get 100 years. You like, I'll worry about that shit later. Right now, I'm getting money. You know what I'm saying? Because those situations, but what people have to realize is it's society that plugs your mind, again, with the crackheads. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a stereotype, right? Most of us know some of the most talented, genuine hearted crackheads in the world. I know a few that can sing their ass off, that can dance their ass off, that can fix
Sure.
cars.
That go to work
And
every day.
they just have that problem and that stigma on their
And
back.
that's their problem.
But we allow we allow society, most of the time it's not from our culture, to pretty much damage our minds. They let them tell us these people that's from your neighborhood that you grew up and seen with all your life are bad people, right?
Right.
Now we know these people in our neighborhood. Some of them are our mothers, our fathers, our aunts, our uncles, our brothers, our sisters, and shit like that. So we know they're not bad people. But being the society says the word crackhead is attached to a bad person, that's what we run with because that's what everybody else is saying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's all a stigma. It's all a stigma. We have to learn how to decipher reality opposed to what they want us to know or
That's
hear.
a thin
You know
line.
what I'm saying?
We should learn as a whole to not judge people on what the hell they do, because a lot of doctors do cocaine. A lot of doctors get high on pills and they go and do surgery on your ass. And you looking up at him because he's a doctor, he can't do no wrong. But he in the bathroom shooting up before the surgery. So if we're gonna demonize a crackhead, we need to demonize the Xanax heads, the fucking coke heads in Wall Street, the councilmen, the freaking all of us have our own problems. Whoever want to go and take 1,000 shots after work, the lawyers who in the bar, the police officers who drink and then go home and beat their kids and beat their wives. If we're gonna demonize one person, we need to just say, hey, everybody who do something bad is a bad person.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right, that's it. And we
See,
need to leave everybody alone. Stop being so damn judgmental. Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. We all are born into this world, and we all gonna die, and it's bigger than us. So instead of us judging each other, we need to help each other, love on each other, or walk the fuck away. One of the two. But that's it.
it's such a separate thing. It's because and I don't want to make this a race issue and continue talking about race, but I mean it is what it is. These a lot of the white people, I'm gonna say Caucasians, a lot of the Caucasian people go have these parties and they do a lot more heroin, crack, and pills and stuff like that
They
than
do it
the
all.
average drug addicted person in our community. But the problem is they embrace it. They know as a whole to hide it and make themselves look good and shit like that. Now, prime example, uh, DMX. We might read in the newspaper. DMX went to a rehab. What this nigga in the rehab? That's crazy. B. Fuck he doing in rehab? This nigga crackhead. Boom, 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 boom. They got a whole show called Intervention for White People, where they're showing we help our people. You know what I'm saying? Your little Uncle Charlie that's under that car fixing whole motors for $10. No, he's a bad crackhead. He steals. He's the worst of the worst kind. You know what I'm saying? But this, you know what I'm saying, 22-year-old white girl that's been shooting heroin for 4 years in college or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We care about her. We're gonna make sure we send her to Arizona to a best rehabilitate. They don't even say rehab. They say rehabilitation center.
And then they'll release her back to society and would never paint her out to be this bad person. And it's wrong. And
The backstory of a person means everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, when they tell you about the crackhead Charlie, they don't say, yo, Charlie got 5 degrees in this or whatever the case is, and he hurt his leg on the job and got hooked on opioids, fucked around, or Charlie is dealing with a mental issue.
Or he fell on his luck and it was
Yeah,
too hard for him to deal with.
and couldn't bounce back. But Charlie's a great person. He has a family that loves him and shit like that. Because I mean, I've met plenty of crackheads. You know what I'm saying? That you ask, yo, though, what, you ain't got no family? No, what's going on? You're like, man, I got a lot of family. They love me. I just don't want to take it in their house because I know
out of respect.
out of respect. I just don't go around them because this
I'm
is who I am.
And I don't want them to look at me like that.
Really love me like, yo, this little crackhead nigga, we knew he was gonna be a crackhead, but he can come here anytime, whatever. do whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But they're very respectful of their people. Now I ain't going around my sisters and them or my mom and them like that. I might check in here and there or whatever the case is, but I ain't going around them like this because right now I like doing drugs. They're honest.
I'm trying to fight it, but it's hard.
They're honest, and we're the only people that demonize and allow.
I think we demonize it. I think we accept it. I think that people outside of our race, more so the people who demonize it, we see it every day. You have a neighbor that been smoking crack for 15 years and open the door for you and see your kids and walk your kids to school, and they do their thing, but they don't harm nobody. It's their problem. It's not your problem. We need to stop bothering people and stop making people feel like they're less than anybody. We all have our own struggles in life. We all have our gifts that God has blessed us with, and we just need to accept people for who they are. That's it.
And that's something DMX said. Accept the person for who they are. It's fine. And stop turning your back on people because of situations and stuff like that, which we all have to learn because some of us get angry and a lot of us don't believe that we're emotional that we are. We all want to have this tough exterior, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? But most of us are very emotional creatures. That's what makes us react in certain ways to where you're like, nah, fuck that. Fuck this person. I ain't gonna talk to him for a year. That's being emotional. It's not being mad. That's emotional.
No, that's being mad.
You might not. Huh?
No, that's being mad and emotional because I do it sometimes. It's being mad and emotional. It depends on what the person did.
It all comes with emotions and stuff like that. But needless to say, DMX, I mean, forget iconic and legendary. Like this man has done something for the world, and the conversation came up about the relevance to Nipsey Hussle and him, and honestly, I pick
X.
DMX's.
Somebody said it on my timeline. They said, "Give DMX the same love you gave Nipsey, because at least you know all of DMX's music."
Right.
That's a no.
Which I saying I love Nipsey. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't know nothing about Nipsey until he died.
Right.
I heard about him in California and trying to get back and all that. But as far as music, I didn't hear nothing until he died. Now the songs before he died was fire, was dope. But after he died, then he looked back into his catalog. DMX, I was there from the beginning to the end. I've always had his music. It wasn't until he died I had it. I've always had it.
Right.
There's nothing about him that I see negative.
And you know what? The new generation say, "Oh, that's so old." They don't understand. DMX's music is timeless.
Right. And he said it. He wanted his music to be everlasting.
It's timeless.
You want to know something? It's some type of disconnect with new school and old school, and I think the back and forth and the problem is when we were growing up, music had to have substance, right?
Right.
Music had a beat.
Our parents and grandparents' music carried over into the way we listen to music, right? So, which means we grew up in households where our parents were playing Isleys,
Earth, Wind, and Fire, Midnight Star,
Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Luther Vandross,
but let's not forget the fact of us three. I don't know about everybody in the live, but we grew up during the crack era, so we directly dealt with situations involving people who chose to do that drug, and so it's more relatable to us because we could understand being hungry or being confused or being closer to this relative than the other. So for these kids, they probably will never have to experience what we've experienced, and the people who came in our lives through music at that time help us cope with what we were dealing with. So I give nothing but gratitude to him and that man. I hope he rests in peace because he spoke to me as an individual during that time of my life. I needed him. He was there for us, for the people who actually experienced the crack era, who actually had family members who was affected by that, who was indulging in that shit. We were the people who had to deal with it directly. So I appreciate him. And I don't care what CNN say or any other news outlet say about him. He is a legend, and he'll always be that. And that's just that.
Right.
See, that's
That's
another
it.
thing. Again, that disconnects us from the newer generation. Like us now, we're very protective of the younger generation, and they haven't had the struggles or the survival that that we had. Like from like every day now. Again, we all see that kids don't go outside. You go out, you don't see kids like that. You know what I'm saying? They all got phones, tablets, all this, all of us that compared to when we was coming up, we couldn't wait to go outside. Like, yo, fuck that Sega, fuck that Nintendo. Like, yo, yeah, can I go outside though? Like, let me go ride my bike. Let me go play tag. Let's go play manhunt. You know what I'm saying? And that built our social skills to where we understood things. They don't have a social skill. That's why the music sounds the way they sound, and the younger generation relates to it because they don't have to technically really interact. They don't have to understand nothing. You know what I'm saying? When we listen to people like DMX, prime example, Slippin'. When I listened to Slippin', I was on my way from a foster home to a group home.
Oh.
My first group home. So that was my introduction to that song, and that song took me through those group home days because it was so relatable and shit like that. Now you can get up there because they don't have that social intellect because they sit in the same rooms and text each other. You know what I'm saying? So compared to where if you want to see your homeboy,
you had to go to
you had to go to his crib because you ain't want to call his house because you know his mom's gonna pick up the phone like, yo, no, y'all not being on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So you had to go knock on the door like, oh God, I hope his mom gonna black out. Then you come outside. Come on, hurry up. So get your bike. So you had to actually be social responsible. You know what I'm saying? And actually meet people. They don't do that now. And that's why it's such a disconnect in music. Like I said, we grew up off of music that spoke to you. When all those songs our parents listened to and they talked about their ladies and shit like that, like it was almost a story. You was almost like watching the Younger and the Restless and shit like you like,
Wait, who missed the fire hydrant days? You remember the fire hydrants?
Open it up and just let that shit hit. You get a bucket to make
the fire hydrant days. Like it was amazing. Double Dutch. These kids don't know how to jump double Dutch.
You do it again once the fire department come and close it. You wait the next day, bust that bitch right back open, and you
right open.
I come from the era of the little joint on the corner that had the little two boxes, the fire and the police shit.
It was three of them. It was 911, and then go fire, and it was police.
And go watch and see what was going on and what you laughing at. You had to have solutions like that. And that's why nowadays
jump rope, double dutch.
Like
they don't know nothing about that. Now they're doing double dutch tournaments. Back then, that was the social interaction. We would
boys used to come and mess up our jump rope, and we had to start over. Like it was honestly
boys, telephone wire,
right? Whatever. Our time, I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't change nothing.
You learned so much back then.
It's amazing. It was so carefree. We actually had to be out here. We had to learn things. We had to experience things. These kids have everything given to them nowadays. Everything is just brought to them. Remember when you had to wait for the road runner to dial up the shit on the internet?
Yeah. That
see with that and the internet and stuff like that, that's more of them not having that social skill. Back then, if you want to listen to music, you stayed up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they played that that soul shit. We'll send you 12 CD for 3 cents right now. You
that
like y'all bullshit me.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yo,
sit there and make 4 different fucking names.
Wait. Engine. Say it.
9 on the
New York.
line. If my
If
train,
the train
pick it up,
pick
pick
it
it
up,
up, pick it up, pick it up now.
oh, they don't know about that. They don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. And I think
It's a 10-minute workout.
oh yeah.
But play music.
Like it's a difference. Like now they don't know that they don't even know the local DJ's name outside of Funk Flex and shit like that. Like I mean, we had Tom Joyner, WBLS, Edgy Martinez, Lisa Evans,
we had all that,
you
and
know,
they kept
shout out to Lisa Evans because she's still going strong. She reported on everybody's death. She's been there for the whole night for the culture, and even though the white woman or whatever cases, like she's really been here solid in our culture, and and she's actually for the people. So I definitely give her respect. But I mean, it's become times where, I mean, remember the late night storm after 11 o'clock on Hot 97?
What?
Back in the day, if you knew somebody that was locked up, you waited for come on. C-74, lock in.
Or you would call it a late night and give a shout out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was it. Or if you had a crush and you didn't want to tell your name, you could give your crush a shout out and dedicate a song, and it was just
actually. If you look at all the video footage from back then, all those artists are in the studio at the same time. Now these niggas be in two different places and email each other, and then they get on Instagram live together and be like, yo, bro, I fuck with you, bro. I said, you already know we about to do this show and all the rest of that. Like back then, them niggas be like, yo, son, if you ain't come to the studio, we're not doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to actually vibe with the person to get a hit song and shit like that, man. Like that's how Wu-Tang and all the rest of them.
It was just it was a different era. You know what I'm saying?
It was the
I'm proud
best
to be
era.
from that era.
Right. It was the best ever. I wouldn't change anything. I love every part of it.
I learned, I loved, I experienced. It was something that I will always cherish because it made me who I was. I mean,
it built character. It built character. It built character. We knew about loyalty. We know about loyalty. We know about the game. These kids now, they don't know nothing about loyalty. They don't know nothing about sticking together. They don't know nothing about fucking bond or a street code. They don't have no damn street code. They don't know these things.
They didn't have to go through that portion of life to where you had to deal with and learn to survive that street code. You know what I'm saying? Because most of our parents, was either in the fucking streets. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like once you went outside, you know what I'm saying? And your mother said, yo, don't leave that park. You like, okay. If you say so. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got plenty of stories when my grandma was like, yo, don't leave that park. You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta call her and I'm like, I need a cab. From where? Where are you? I'm in Brooklyn.
You left the damn park, stupid.
What are you doing in Brooklyn, bro? Like I told you not to leave the park. Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. My bike got stolen. But what are you doing in Brooklyn? They didn't have to, be outside with things like that and stuff like that. You got 12, 14-year-olds now on Facebook, Instagram.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? My son.
But what about the mothers who were hustlers? Like they taught us to hustle. They taught us to grind, how to spend $20 and make a whole meal for the rest of the week. They don't got that now. Like we are the last of it.
Yeah.
But you want to know why? It's a difference between us and them. Our mothers and shit taught us, not saying the survival game.
Because they had the survival game.
It had the I got 7 kids. Watch me turn this $12 into 2 weeks of food. And you like,
right?
How the fuck you doing it?
But she did it.
But I gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you knew back then you knew how to go to the store with $5. I bet I'm gonna spend $2 on a sandwich. I'm gonna get 2 bags, 25-cent chips, get 2 quarter waters. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get some non-laters or some shit like that. You was on. You was on.
Do you remember the food stamp book? Yeah.
No, I didn't see it, fools. I never, honestly, I heard about it, but I never seen it for myself. But my mama had them, and she used to go in there and get shit, and I just didn't understand it. But she made it work, and that's the thing. These kids will, like, we will, of course, we will install it in them, but will they be receptive to it because they don't have to struggle like we did?
But they don't have to. You know why?
It's because of what they see now.
Because of what we've been through, we block that from our kids. You understand? So it's an automatic thing to where when you have your children or stepchildren or whatever the case is, your first thing that comes to mind is they're not gonna go through that.
Right.
They never gonna feel like they're gonna need. That's why we run out and buy $900 PS5s.
No, absolutely not. Not me. You.
Your son is on the Xbox right now.
And that shit was 200. And I went on eBay. I'm not spending that much money. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to install certain things in your kids. Now, of course, you want your kids to have everything you didn't have, but in a sense, you want them to be humble and appreciate the shit they got and work hard for the shit they want. So you got a lot of parents out here that's willing to just give. I didn't come for that. I definitely didn't come from my parents being able to just give. If they were able to give, I'm pretty sure we would have had it, but not knowing where our next meal will come from and them making it happen, it made me appreciate shit more better. So now that I get my money, I'm not sitting here buying no $400 fucking Yeezys for these kids and they're going to grow out of this shit throughout the summer. I'm going to make sure they understand the value of money, the value of the shit you have, appreciated, take care of it. When we were growing up, we had clothes. If we didn't get to go to the laundry, what did you have to do with your fucking clothes? Your dirty clothes?
In the tub, baby.
In the fucking tub. You know what I do? Every now and then, I take the ass to the tub, get the soap, and scrub it.
Well, you had to
make sure, like,
or the radiator, and hope that shit don't get the brown shit on your jeans.
Right, and make sure that you don't drip on the floor. You better wring it out twice before you put them jeans up. Like, you have to humble these kids now. They have to know life, nothing in life is free. And everything you want, you must work for that shit. And always appreciate it. I don't care if you had them jeans for 5 years. If you love them, you want to take care of them motherfucking jeans because they're your jeans. That's it.
Back when we was growing up, we had chores.
Yep.
If you don't understand, a job is a chore. You are getting paid to do tasks on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis. And I always try to explain that. If you know how to take care of yourself, if you know how to fend for yourself, clean up after yourself, you will be good. Because you know the responsibility. Like, you getting paid for these chores. Okay, it's time to wash dishes. I need to wash these dishes. You go to work, you gotta do tasks for them 8, 10, 12 hours before you see that check. You're not getting paid just to be you're getting paid.
Ain't nothing given to you.
It's the same thing. The dilemma now kids have is they don't have fucking chores. They come in the house and they clothes be all over the place. Their mama picking up. Yeah, we're not gonna play that. We're gonna learn the responsibility of fending for yourself because that's what you're gonna have to do.
But you want to know something that us as parents nowadays, our patience are a lot longer, but at the same time they're a lot shorter because our parents, you know, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us. If we had someone on the floor, that motherfucker, you got 2 options. You're gonna get it, you're gonna pick it up, or you're gonna get yourself.
You didn't have 2 options. It was one. Pick that motherfucker up.
You're gonna pick it up.
Ask that shit one more time. I just talked the other day. We cleaning up. They said to me, don't threaten your kids. We lie. No, listen, I'm not threatening their ass, but I'm be honest. So I had left some tape in the thingy on the floor. I just finished sweeping the floor. So I see they all walked past, they stepped over it. They stepped over it and kept stepping back over it. And I just got frustrated. I said, so if you see it on the floor, you're not gonna pick it up. And they looking like, but you didn't have kids to have slaves. I'm like, this is your home. Honestly, you could choosing to pay your kids to do chores. That's a choice. We didn't have no fucking choice in doing our chores. We all live in this place together, and our home is gonna be clean because cleanliness is next to godliness.
Like Poogie said, we caught on quick. I'm saying these kids.
You better clean that shit.
But yo, a lot of you not though.
That's a fact.
That's because we don't have the time for that. Not saying us as modern day parents. Not saying like we'd rather quickly chest out child and go ahead and get the task done because we like, yo, fuck, I ain't got time to wait for you to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I need my house clean or whatever the case is. Now, you know what I'm saying? But still to this day, like, I hate going home to my mother's house because she wakes up so early. You know what I'm saying? With,
I can attest to that shit.
I'm on vacation. Why the fuck are you up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
That's your problem because you choose to vacate at your mother house, stupid. I mean, when I go over there, I definitely get up and leave because I feel like now she want me to start folding shit up, and that's just my job. I will end up sweeping because I'm just accustomed to doing that because this is her home. As her child, that's just embedded in us. So no, don't tell. She said, "Okay, stop." No, she get up at 5 o'clock and she thinks she whispering and she be loud as hell. So we all have to get up and clean. But I respect it because now in my home with my kids, they know the deal. If I get up and I suck my teeth at how my living room look, they already getting up, they clean up. And that's just a part of teaching them how to be clean adults. When they get their own home, they're going to appreciate walking into a clean house. Folded up, a made up bed, folded up clothes. They're gonna appreciate that you made them do that because it's gonna become normal. A lot of young parents don't do that shit.
I went through that.
That's
went through
that's
that.
us. Now I'm saying, like, right now, being that she did that all of our lives, like, still to this day, all of us, now I'm saying, at a certain point, we'll get up and be like, oh nah, let's go ahead and get busy. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that, and keep our Now the chores, I don't know about like that was for people that couldn't come outside. I was outside.
Whatever.
I didn't do no chores.
Yeah,
I went through that because
I was outside.
At first, they didn't clean. They didn't want to do shit. Nothing. And these are boys. So I'm like, yo, come on, yo, you gotta clean up after yourself. Y'all are boys.
Hey,
y'all have to.
Everybody know this part. Look, read this comment.
When they stop playing that music, even if you don't want to clean, you gotta get your ass up and clean. That is a fact when they stop playing that music.
But yeah, they wouldn't want to clean. Yeah. They didn't want to clean it. Now they love it. They'll do it on their own. There's no problem. They miss it. And I'm like, I'm glad because you need to know this. This is basic functions. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should ever have to clean up after you. You should always make sure you know how to fend for yourself. You know
how to feed yourself, how to clean after yourself, how to wash your own clothes.
But it's not instilled now. Right. Let alone wash your own ass.
Let me tell you something.
But it's a lot of things.
A lot of these young moms, they don't teach their kids how to do laundry. I don't care. Listen, it becomes a time, like my kids are old enough now, thank God. At first I was afraid, but now I let them make meals. My son could clean and cook better than a lot of females. Why? Because when he does become a young man and he go out on his own and live life, I don't ever want him to be dependent on a female. So I think that that's important to teach your male boys how to clean their house, how to feed themselves, how to wash their clothes, so they'd never be dependent on anybody. And their girls, how to keep yourself clean, because you could go outside looking like $1 million, but if your house is fucking dirty, you dirty. There's no way around that. But a lot of people go outside looking clean and they come home to their house and they got dog shit. And it's just like, what? You not clean.
You walking over shit.
No.
You have to instill morals into your children. That's the problem. They're not instilling morals. And the morals, they aren't ones that's beneficial for the kids. You got kids that's 5 years old on Twitter and TikTok twerking. That shit ain't cute. Does she know how to change her pamper, or does she know how to go to the bathroom? Does she know how to hold her body? Is she walking properly, but she know how to twerk properly? Does she know how
can she wash her panties out?
A through Z? Right.
That's a good point. Teaches not only how
be her mother ass,
also teaches discipline. A lot of young folks.
Thank you. Yeah. That's the purpose of morals. That's the purpose of chores. You instill in somebody the things that they need to function in the world.
Right.
You don't have to pay them. If you pay them, that's just showing them that this is what's going to happen when you get a job.
Right.
But
it's teaching them responsibility.
Teachers, as I was hearing that.
Right.
And I have no problem. I'm a fucking neat freak. I got OCD.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that, and I instill it in the kids. He learned it even more. It's just. I can't stand it.
Because he never used to like taking showers when we lived together. But I thank you, Anna.
But it's just something my mother taught me as a child. You know what I'm saying? And my mother didn't play no games. It's not a matter of if, it's going to be now. You're going to learn how to clean. You're going to learn how to fend for yourself. I was old enough to read and write. My father said, "Yeah, we're gonna learn how to cook." Right. I've been cooking since I was 9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I tried to instill that. No, that's just the Spanish culture. But
that's making sure that she could take care of herself. At the end of the day,
didn't play that. And that's it. Was disciplined on books. You better have A's in school. I ain't playing no fucking game, so I was a bookworm, and I was all the way until I graduated high school. Right. So I try to instill that in every person, every child I come across. Education is not a playing game with me. I don't play with this.
And cleaning.
In the end.
And wait, a lot of people who taught us these things had their own fucking demons they were dealing with in the midst of that, and created good people. We didn't go to jail for murdering and killing people and all this shit. They had their shit they was dealing with. That's their shit. But
I had 2 parents in my household, but it wasn't like the normal 2-parent household. My father did what he did. I'm gonna be as transparent as possible. My father did what he did, but he always disciplined his fucking kids. He wasn't playing about education. You acted up, you showed your ass. That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Yo,
right.
So that helped us become who we are now.
Right.
And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the shit that I went through.
I'm thankful for it.
It helped me, and it also helps my relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't have 2-parent households, you still learn shit from the parent that's there.
Right. If the parent is any good.
So you can't say, "Oh, well, I had 1 parent." Okay, cool. They did a lot more to balance out missing the other parent.
And then we have to remember that's hard on that 1 parent. Now, we never thought about that 1 parent having to deal with multiple kids by that person's self. But I commend you. I respect you. At the time when you was making me clean up and cook, I hated it. But now as an adult, I respect and I appreciate you teaching me these tools, because as a parent myself, now I can pass it on to my kids and I see the importance of it. So we have to give them that.
12 years old, and then they got a divorce. So it was just my mother. So she bust her ass, and I'm talking about still busting her ass for her kids. But she instilled, if you can't get it for yourself, don't depend on nobody else to get
it. At all, right.
So I've always kept that persona.
Right.
Now that I'm married, I've had to relinquish that grasp.
Right.
And it was a learning aspect, but it made me who I am.
Right.
It made me a better woman. It made me a better person altogether.
Better mother.
I'm a good mother and all that.
Right,
but
right.
I've tried to give my all, period.
That's it. And that's going back to DMX. That takes nothing from that man. He loved his fucking kids. He loved his kids.
Him and do whatever that every time he said
whatever
that.
The fuck he did on himself, because you have to remember, people for us for shit we do to ourselves. But as long as nobody's raping and molesting and abusing our kids are fed, they clothed, the house is clean, they comfortable, they doing good in school, they immunized, they got their shit up to date. Whatever I do to myself is me. And I might be wrong for doing it. And it might hurt them kids to see me do it. But at the end of the day, I'm trying my best to make sure you are okay. And please learn from my mistakes, because I'm not fucking perfect. I am a flawed human being. And if you decide to do something in your life, whoever judge you, fuck them, because you're not a perfect person. You are a flawed human being also. And so that's why I commend all the fucking addicts. Weed is a drug, regardless if you like it or not. It might be something to cope. It's a coping thing, but crack might be a coping mechanism for somebody. Cocaine might be a coping mechanism for a doctor. Whatever you decide to do is on your own time, is your shit. That's it.
That shit twice. I might have to drug test my doctor.
No, because me and my doctor was talking about this, and she's a Caucasian lady. She's super cool, but she said, you know how many doctors do cocaine?
Coffee drug, yeah.
She said, I'm afraid to date another doctor, because do you know how many doctors do cocaine and have unprotected sex and they're doctors?
It's a little society of them.
Right.
And they're fully functional cocaine addicts.
But who the fuck is demonizing them?
Right.
Nobody.
Because they're doctors.
Listen,
Right.
again, that goes back into society and why
That's the
we
leverage that
allow
they give.
outsiders to control the narrative in our culture. We
Right.
allow outsiders to tell us what's good and bad for us in our cultures, and we demonize each other, and that takes our mind off of what the fuck is really going on with these people. Because let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? It's no secret that these drugs and shit came from them to our community.
But TV is a drug.
Huh?
TV is a drug. Sex is a drug if you do too much of it. Eating is a fucking drug. At the end of the day, if you don't know how to use everything in moderation, it becomes an addict, addiction. You will become an addict to it. First of all, if we will all just go back and stop letting man rule the fucking law and go back to whatever God you believe in or whatever, the first thing is thou shalt not fucking judge. Leave everybody alone. Mind your business.
Thou without sin cast the first stone.
What the hell? Nobody remembers that now, do they? At all. But everybody remember everything else. Being gay is a sin. Doing all this shit is a sin. But do you not remember that judging people is a fucking sin also?
Right.
But you got to think about where that shit come from. Everybody's been to churches and our cultures, and they're probably the most judgmental people.
They're hypocrites.
Hypocritical ass people.
God rest his soul. I watched my grandmother sit there and laugh and joke with a person and come right the fuck home and jump on the phone
and talk
crazy about that person. Like,
yes.
And I'm like, wow, you told her you love the shit out of outfit.
Even church folks off the Lord.
Who's safe at this point? You have the preachers saying don't commit adultery, yet they're cheating on their fucking wives.
And they fucking little boys like a motherfucker.
And so us as a people, that just shows that we are flawed. We cannot judge each other.
Maybe generations from now, it'll be that way. But right now, this has to cease and desist before that can be beneficial.
Right. And that's only if we put forth that effort. If we push it in our households, because now we're responsible for raising these people who are going to be the next generation of adults. So if we push it like, yo, you see somebody doing something that you probably wouldn't do, but that's not your fucking business. Mind your fucking business. If it ain't affecting you, leave it alone. Don't judge
where they gonna go. That's the purpose of that happening. They're gonna be accounting for their actions. You worry about
however it is you're doing. Because everything that you say and that person is doing wrong, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 you're doing that shit in the dark anyway.
And then something.
And until people find out, now is what? What are you gonna say? But you was just judging Ricky over there for doing the shit and saying he do the drugs, and you in the house in the dark in the corner smoking the drugs, but now your habit is out of control and you out here asking for credit. Now you're a crackhead. Now what? You were just talking about Ricky ass 2 months ago. Leave Ricky alone. I never met a crackhead named Ricky, but I'm just saying.
You was with Ricky while he was getting high. And then you had to throw blame and shame on Ricky. And Ricky done kept your secret for God knows how long. Because that ain't his place to say nothing. But you shaming him. And you didn't say nothing.
To make yourself look good. That just shows people ain't shit. Like Bernard ain't shit. But I'm just saying, like, you know.
Okay, that's the second one. That's the second one. Listen, I'm holding out for a good one, baby girl. Don't worry about it.
But I'm just being real.
I do hope it gets better, though. I do hope it gets better because kids do need to be grounded. Shall I say? Grounded is the good word.
Right, but I feel like at this point we shouldn't hold whether it's a celebrity or our next door neighbor on any kind of pedestal. At this point, they are fucking human. Whatever they do.
I've said time and time again, like literally with the Beyoncé's, the Nicki Minaj's, even the Jay-Z's, and and stuff like that. These people, it becomes such a narrative in their mind to where they can't separate entertainment from real life, to where they start to believe and idolize these people more than the actual people that's around them. Like I see it all the time. Like Beyonce, I have a birthday. And the whole Instagram be like, oh my God, be to the queen, be happy birthday. And be like, your mother's birthday was just yesterday. And you said Nothing.
No, Pookie, we have to. No, Pookie said, please don't mention them. No, Pookie, we have to mention them. Why? Because even though they are Jay and Beyonce, we have to remember they are human. So if 2 years from now you hear out that Jay and Beyonce pulled a T.I. and Tiny, you won't be hurt. I'm just saying. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that might. Let me shut up.
Yo, everybody that's tuned in, we had a few people in here a while ago.
Appreciate it.
Everybody that's tuned, once this makes it to YouTube, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Definitely, please put people on to the page. We're gonna start back going live every Saturday at 7 p.m.
He said not T.I. and Tiny.
For a while we was trying to handle some.
He said not T.I. and Tiny.
Why your mother keep telling us to shut up?
Because she don't want the people to come and get us. Because she rude. She's still trying to control us. Look, she's still trying to control us in our own house. You can't never stop.
It can't happen, lady.
Right? I pay this bill.
Yeah, done. It's over for you.
Yeah. When we come to your house, we'll be quiet.
Yo, this definitely is winding down. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming to the building and having this great conversation again as usual. I would like to thank Anna for pulling up for the first time. I would definitely like
thank you, Anna.
Again, once this makes it to YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share, please.
Continue to tune in.
It's only gonna get better.
That's right.
We're working on some major things behind the scenes as far as very, very great interviews and things like that. So just bear with us. But we will be back every Saturday, 7 p.m. KB actually is working on the show of her own, which will probably be going through this channel as well as hers. So please stay tuned.
Wait, can I please say something? I'm sorry. Can we just have a moment of silence for X though? Can somebody lead us in prayer as he will always do? He will start the show and end the show with a prayer. So can you, Capo, please lead us in prayer?
I can't lead you in prayer right now because I've been drinking and I wouldn't know which Lord I'd be talking to. So
wow.
Yeah.
You raised them. I'm just saying that part. Anyway. All right. So Anna, please do the honors. Please, Anna. Don't be like your husband.
Okay, let me try.
That's right.
Okay. So, dear Lord, please protect and guide those that are watching, those aren't watching, those that are in this live. Please protect them and cover them, shield them from any evil and harm. Keep the devil and the devil worshippers behind them as they follow you in this journey called life. Mm-hmm. Shield them, encourage them, uplift them, give them guidance, give them support, and always cover them in the blood of Jesus. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Please stay covered. Please stay safe. Lord, protect everybody from this COVID. And I want to thank you again, Lord, for giving us this breath. Continue to let us live and enjoy the moments of this. Allow us to continue to learn, uplift, and encourage those we come across. May we give a positive image to whoever we come in contact with. Again, Lord, I want to thank you. I love you and amen.
Amen. That's right.
In the album. Shit.
I'm done with him. I'm done. Are we not live? Because I want to curse you out.
Yo, Toast. Never above you, never underneath you. You always with you. Yo.
That's right.
I definitely toast to that.
That's right.
Again, appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Love. The Eternal Grind family. Of course, I go by the name Eternal Grind Capo. That is KB. And that is Miss Anna.
Another one.
You want to get his block?
Yeah, we definitely gonna get blocked. But we can say it. My dog's gone. My dog's gone. And then
Again, y'all shut it down, open up shop.
no, we got him like, oh no, let her ride a road.
So love, make sure y'all here 7 p.m. next Saturday. We will be back. We only did it on the couch today because we want to give the gritty feel and bring everything from the ghettos back to the stars like X gave us. Show rest in peace to the major
Love you,
legend,
X.
icon, love
X.
you, X. You know what I'm saying? Now you with your grandma. You know what I'm saying? I hope she holding you tight. Yo, to the world, peace out. We love y'all for the Turn and Grind family. You know what I'm saying? Big shout outs again to Miss Anna and this boy I call my sister KB. I'll be
And my
good.
sister Capo.